Hello friends, I am here today to do some ocean art painting with you. And this painting is a little different because instead of using paper as our canvas, we are going to use aluminum foil. Do you hear it when I move it? Aluminum foil makes some silly sounds when you use it. You can also see how very shiny it is. The other fun thing about aluminum foil is that see how it can be very smooth? But if you wrinkle it up, this, and then you pull it back out, then it has this really fun texture to it. So for my ocean painting, I'm going to keep some of my foil nice and smooth, but some of it I'm going to wrinkle back up and then smooth out. So it's bumpy and has some texture. Do you see that? The other things I have here is I already got all of my paint ready. It's a little hard to see. I don't want to tip the plate too much and make the paint spread out, but I have some different shades of blue and I have a few shades of green on my plate. And then for painting utensils, I do have some paintbrushes. And I also have some Q-tips because Q-tips can be a lot of fun to do painting on aluminum foil. And then I also have some ocean animal shapes. And you see what I have here? I have a little crab, and I have a sea turtle, and I also have a starfish. And I have two different colors of construction paper. I have orange and I have green. And what I'm going to do is after I paint my ocean, then I'm going to use these materials to make starfish and turtle and a crab that can live on my ocean scene so I can decorate it. So with that, I also have my pencil and I have my scissors. So for these materials, you'll have some help from your family to help you decorate your ocean after you paint it. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to start with one of my Q-tips, and I think I'm going to dip it into my darkest color blue here. You see that? There's the blue. And I'm just going to start by swirling it and painting it onto the foil. And when you'll do that, you'll notice that it glides really easily over the smooth part of the foil, but you'll feel your hands bumping over that wrinkled part that you created. The great thing about Q-tips is they have two sides. So I'm going to flip it over and get a different color blue on my Q-tip and start painting that on. I'm just going to spread it all around. And if it's okay with your family who is helping you, it's also a lot of fun to use your fingers to paint on aluminum foil. Here we go. So I'm going to put this Q-tip down because I've used both sides, and I think I am going to use my finger and put it into, do you see that bluish green color? And I'm going to do some dabs of that all over my foil. And I'll use my other finger to get this light blue color. We'll do some dabs of that onto my ocean. And then I do have an extra paper towel here, so I'll get that so I can wipe some of the extra paint off of my fingers. And I think I'd like to use one of my paintbrushes, and I'm going to get some green paint here. Just need to mix it up a little. My green wasn't very well mixed. And put some green dabs on my foil. Because sometimes you see some bluish green mixed in with the ocean water, right? It's not all just one color blue. And then I'm going to scoop up some more of this dark blue. I feel like I don't have enough of that on my paper where I want it. Get some more of that on here. And then I think I'd like to do some color mixing. So what I'll do is here, I can show you. See how my colors are in all different spots on my foil? I'm going to take my extra brush that I have here and kind of brush it around the whole foil And I'll mix some of these blues and these greens all together for my ocean water. Oh, and I actually really love how these are all coming together to make a nice water background for my ocean. I think I'm going to get just a little bit more of my paint, a little more dark blue, dab, 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 a little more light blue. Well, this is more like a turquoise blue, dab, 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 dab. All over, dab it all over. And maybe, what do you think? A little more green too? Don't want to forget about that nice green that I was using. And then I'm gonna keep blending it like I was before. Here we go. And you know, I love to cover my whole painting surface. I like to make sure I fill it all in. Do as much painting work as I can. Oh, the foil's starting to get away from me a little bit here. All right. I think that is enough water. I've just about filled my whole piece of foil. Let me see. I'm going to hold this up for you so you can see. Here. It's a little hard to tell in this lighting, but there's some nice blues and greens in here. So I'm going to set this right here and let it dry a little bit while I get my ocean animals ready. So first I'm going to use my orange paper, and I'm going to take my starfish and I'm going to trace it, which means I'm going to draw right around it. I'm holding it down onto the paper and using my pencil and driving right around the edges. We've done a few activities with tracing at school before. Just go very slowly all around the edges. Okay. Then on my paper, do you see here? It's very faint because I used a light pencil, but do you see that star? There's my starfish. So maybe you can have someone help you, and I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to cut my starfish out. So I'm going to cut it a little smaller, and then I'm going to use my scissors and go right around the lines that I traced from my starfish and cut around the edges. So then I'll have my own paper starfish to add onto my ocean painting. And if you have any other ocean shapes at home, you certainly don't have to use a starfish or a turtle, but if you have any fish stamps or stickers, you could do some stamping onto your ocean once they dry, or you could, with some help from your family, you can cut fish shape out of some paper, like I'm doing with this starfish, and you can put some fish in your ocean, just whatever works best for you. So, see this? Here's my starfish, and I have my ocean, and I'm going to put it right on there. Okay? And then I have my crab shape, and I think what I'm going to do, actually, is take some of my dark blue paint, and I'm going to paint. So, because I don't have a huge plate, I'm not going to stamp it, but what I would do is use this as like a stamp. So I'm going to paint the paint on with a paintbrush, but if you want, you could just dip a shape right into paint if you had one. Just like we do stamping at school sometimes. And I'm just going to make sure all the lines are covered with the paint. Nice blue that I chose here. Okay. Hopefully I got all of it. And I'm going to press it down on my paper. Oh, press, press, press. Because remember with stamping, we press down to make sure that all the color comes out on the paper that we want to use. Well, you can kind of see it. So I'm not going to be able to cut right around the edges with this wet paint, but I'm going to cut very close to my stamp here. And I use the orange for the crab because they're usually red or orange or close in color here. So here I go, just cutting right around it. And I have my little crab here. And I'm going to put him on my ocean too. Push him down. And if your paint is not wet enough, you might need just a little bit of glue. You see that there? And then I'm going to do one more. I also really want to have my turtle on my ocean. So for my turtle, I actually think I'm going to trace my turtle on the paper. So I'm going to put my shape down onto my green paper, and I'm going to use my pencil, and I'm going to trace just like I did with the starfish. And it won't have quite as much design, but it will have the shape of it. So then I'm going to use my scissors. Actually, let me cut this out of the bigger paper because then it's easy to cut the details out here. Okay, so you see, there's my turtle. And I'm just going to cut right around the edges. Here I go. I have the head and the feet and the shell. Round and round it goes. Almost done. Cutting out the shell on the back. All right, so can you see my little turtle? And I'm going to put my turtle in the ocean too. All right, let's move all of these things out of my way. Oh, my crab, I think, is going to need a little glue to hold him in place. But there we go. You see my ocean scene that I created? And you can really use any ocean things you have at home. Like I said, you could do some stamping or some stickers. If you have some green construction or tissue paper, you could put it on and turn it into some seagrass. Any shapes that you have. What I also love about the tinfoil is you can kind of see it shiny right through the paint, just like the sun glistens off the water in the ocean. Well, friends, I hope you have a good time creating your ocean painting. And if you do all of this work and want to ask your family to take a picture so that we can see what you've been doing at home, we'd love to see it. All right, friends, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.